Well, hey there everybody, welcome back to the 4-String Strum of the channel. It's all about ukuleles. If you want to learn one of the smokingest of bluegrass tunes, stick around for this one. We got some Billy strings for you. Well, I ain't slept in 7 days, I haven't ate in 3. Methamphetamine has got a damn good hold of me. Alright, if you're not familiar with Billy strings, man, you gotta check this guy out. He can really wheel on almost any kind of a stringed instrument, right? He gets going on his guitar. Mostly he's flat picking, just smoking hot. So today we're gonna do one of his tunes. It's called Dustin a Baggie, and it's a 3-chord, kind of 3.5 kind of a chord song. I'm gonna show you a simple version. So if you're just getting started out, no worries, you'll be able to play along. But if you wanna really get cooking, we're gonna do some fancy stuff today too. So let's first of all take a look at the chords. All right, so here's the basics of it. Starts in C. Well, I ain't slept in 7 days. Go to F. I haven't ate in 3. Back to C. Methamphetamine has got a damn good hold of me. G, and then you can go to G7. My tweaker friends have got me. C. Now we're gonna go up to F. To the point of no return. Back to C. And I just put the lighter to the G or G7 bulb and watch it burn. Back to C. And the chorus goes like this. This life of F sin has got me C in. It's got me back in prison once again. G and G7. Back to C. I use my only phone call to F. Contact my daddy, I got C. 20 long years for some G7, G7, Dustin a Baggie. Alright, now let's talk about some strumming. Okay, so strumming on this one, if you're just getting started, nice little paintbrush, it just do perfect here. So you hit that top string with your thumb, and you brush with your finger. Paint, brush, just like that. Get that high G ring, and it'll work for low G as well. Well, if I would've listened to what Mom and Papa said, I wouldn't be locked up in prison, trouble in the head. Okay, you can play the whole song like that if you want. Again, if you're just getting started. You want to start to add in a little bit of the fanciness, you can start to get your thumb flick coming back up. Those of you that have been around, you know that one. That's called the sledgehammer. Sledgehammer. So just like the paintbrush, we're just adding an extra flick with our thumb. Like that. Well, if I would've listened to what Mom and Papa said, I wouldn't be locked up in prison, trouble in the hand. And you can mix and match between your paintbrush and your sledgehammer. Alright, we're going to show you another one here too. I'm going to go through lots of strums today. You can also do what I call a finger drag. So instead of just paint, brush, you're going to paint, you're going to come up with the finger and down with the finger. So you're going to get a little extra flick, a little finger drag in your paintbrush. So it's instead of paint, brush, it's finger drag, finger drag. So it's kind of like taking the sledgehammer strum and putting it on its head, okay? So instead of the second part of the strum, sledgehammer, where the hammer is split in two, we're going to split the sledge part. So it's finger, drag, okay? Well, if I would listen to what Mom and Papa said, okay, you can use that strum. Now, what I would say with this one is use it in combination with your paintbrush strum. Again, this is starting to get a little bit fancy, so if you're not there yet, don't worry. If your mind is spinning already, that's cool. Just kind of take in what you can here. But if you're already pretty comfortable with your paintbrush and you want to try the finger drag, you put them together and you get yourself a nice bluegrass strum, and it sounds like this. Paintbrush, finger drag, paintbrush, finger drag. Well, if I would have listened to what Mom and Papa said, I wouldn't be locked up in prison, trouble in the head. That sounds nice, eh? Now, the only other thing that you could add in here if you wanted to was you could also do brush, and bring your thumb back up. So instead of just finger drag, you're gonna bring your thumb back up. Paint, brush, and I call that a double strum. Double strumming, double strumming. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, right? So you hit it with your thumb, you come up with your finger, you go down with your finger, and you come up with your thumb. So it sounds like this. So again, folks, you need to, it's like going into a martial arts class. If you're a yellow belt, don't get frustrated because you're not able to spar with the black belts yet, okay? Take your time with it and recognize where you're at on your musical journey here. But let this stuff kind of sink in, because at some point it's going to make sense, all right? Now, push yourself a little bit on these strums, okay? So if you've got paintbrush, maybe try the finger drag. Paintbrush, finger drag. And do yourself a little exercise, basically. Just paintbrush, finger drag, paintbrush, finger drag, paintbrush, finger drag. Okay, and once you get that down, then start to do it with chords, but do it slowly, okay? About that speed, okay? And then slowly amp it up. All right, let me show you some other fanciness that we can get into here with some little embellishments, and we can start to pull that tune out and get that chord melody thing going on, because you'll be able to do a really good instrumental on this one. All right, let's take a look at that. All right, so what are we doing? Let's break this down into little segments like we do. So here's what I do. I drop my second finger here down on the second string at the 3rd fret. Now if you want to get more of the exact note, like if I would have listened to it, you can start your strumming with your thumb on that actual string at that spot. Well, if I would have listened, if you want to. Now, if you want to kind of work around it a little bit and don't want to be quite as precise, and you want to have a little bit of strumming sound in the background, don't worry about it. You can just strum and you'll hear it. It'll come out, but you'll have a little bit more background sound as well. Well, if I would have listened to, and I lift it. Would mama, and when I go to the C, or sorry, to the F, mama and papas, I don't mess around too much. I don't add or subtract anything. I go to that 3rd string open with my thumb, and I kind of highlight that one. If I would have listened to what mama and papa said. And I just stay on that 3rd string. So when I switch back from the F, said, I want to get that C ringing again. Mom and Papa said. All right, now you got a couple little options here. Like that, or you can do a little hammering on. Well, if I would have listened to what Mom and Papa said. Again, pick your level, right? If you want to fancy it up a little bit. Now, I wouldn't be locked up in prison. So you're hammering on with your 1st finger here at the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. and then you go to the second string open. And quickly, you drop your second finger at the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Hear it? Now this is where I throw this weird little C7 in up here. And the reason again that I do this is it keeps all of my fingers kind of close together, and it speeds up my transition. I don't have to go to C7 way over here. I can... See how it works? Right there. So I'm just doing this kind of a thing. Okay, I'm not having to switch my wrist position and mess around there. And then I go to my G, and then you can go G7. And then you go back again. I took that little pop. And you just do the same thing, right? You're just dropping that 2nd finger down there at the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. I got 20 years to sit and think, G, of what I've G7 done. All right, so when we go to the chorus part, we're gonna run it up to that. This life a sin. So it just starts on the 3rd string, this life, and you stay on the 3rd string, but you drop your 1st finger at the 2nd fret. And then you go to the 2nd string, open, this life a sin. And the note you want to have ring is that 2nd string, where your 1st finger is. Has got me. And so I'm dropping my 3rd finger here at the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Has got me in. And I go back to my C. 2nd string open is the note that you want. When you get to prison, you want to drop your 2nd finger there at the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Once, and when prison once, and you do that weird little C7 thing up here at the 3rd fret on the 4th string. Then you go to your G, G7. I use my only phone called up con. Same thing. Okay, heading. So it's I use my only phone called up contact. Again, same thing we just did, right? So contact, you want to get that 2nd string ringing. Contact my dad. Now, dad is the open 1st string. Daddy. This is quick here. You gotta kind of be exact if you want to get this one down. And you gotta pluck that 1st string and then get right to the 2nd string where you're gonna drop your 3rd finger down here at the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. And you can go dust in the Baggie. That gives you all the notes and everything. But again, folks, don't worry about it being exact, because, you know, I might play it that way one time. The next time through, I might add my finger in a different spot. It doesn't really matter that much. What you want is to make sure that you're not hitting a note that's outside of the C scale. Okay, so as long as you're staying one of those notes, you're gonna be good, okay? You're gonna be fine, okay? And then all you do is you just start to add in your little embellishments, like your hammer-ons, all right? Okay, it's all up to you. Don't get too caught up in, you know, writing down all the little notes and everything. Try to get this into your ear and try to get yourself to know where those little magic spots are and experiment with it a little bit. Trust me, it's so much fun, and you'll be able to figure these songs out all on your own. All right, let's play it through now. All right, we're gonna play this through now, and I'm gonna play it pretty much at full speed. So again, if you're just getting started, don't get frustrated by this. Go to the corner, hit the little gear thing for the settings, and slow it down to like 75%, and work away. And folks, work on one skill at a time. Don't try to get the whole song with everything all at the same time. So pick your skill. If it's gonna be just getting the chords down, don't yell at yourself if you muff up the notes. Just work on getting the chords. If you're gonna work on the strumming, work on the strumming and just get that, okay? And the only thing that you mark yourself on is that one thing that you're concentrating on. If you muff up the chords, but your strumming is good and you're concentrating on strumming, then it's a win, okay? Don't berate yourself for that, okay? Because that really helps you to focus on a specific set skill, and that's what's going to help you really improve. All right? Let's play it through now. Well, I ain't slept in 7 days, I haven't ate in 3. Methamphetamine has got a damn good hold of me. My tweaker friends got me to the point of no return. I just put the lighter to the bulb and watch it burn. This life of sin's got me in. Well, it's got me back in prison once again. I used my only phone call to contact my daddy. I got 20 long years for some Dustin in the Baggie. Well, if I would listen to what Mom and Papa said, I wouldn't be locked up in prison, trouble in the head. I took that little pop and sucked until my mind was spun. I got 20 years to sit and think of what I've done. This life of sin's got me in. Well, it's got me back in prison once again. I used my only phone call to contact my daddy. I got 20 long years for some Dusty in a Baggie. Sometimes I sit and wonder where my little life went wrong. These old jailhouse blues got me singing this old song. My life is a disaster, Lord, and I feel so ashamed. Cause I'm where they call me by number, not a name. This life of sin's got me in. Well, it's got me back in prison once again. I used my only phone call to contact my daddy. I got 20 long years for some Dusty in a Baggie. I used my only phone call to contact my daddy. I got 20 long years for some Dusty in a Baggie. That is so much fun to play. All right, folks, listen. Don't forget, check us out at fourstringstrummer.ca. We still have our special going on the Kelly Banjo Ukes, where I'm including the Intro to Plaid Band Style. It's one-on-one lessons online with me that goes with the instrument. We also have some of the Dukes still in stock, the not quite perfect ones. We've got sort of a scratch and dent sale going on with some of those where there's just minor blemishes, etc. on some of the instruments. If you want to save some big money on those, you can save yourself $100 US while they're in stock. So again, check the website. I'll put a link down below and see what you see there. They're always changing, okay? We don't have a lot, but when we do have them, we put them up on the site there. Don't forget to hit subscribe, folks. It shows me that you folks are really liking the content that we're putting out here, and give us a big thumbs up. Till we see you next time, folks, keep smiling, keep strumming, and have fun, maybe with one of these tunes right over here. Bye for now.